In the early 5th century, a priest named Zosimus lived in a monastery near the Jordan River in a desert region. The monks were known for severe discipline and followed a rare Lenten practice. At the start of Lent, they left the monastery and spread out across the desert to live alone as hermits. They returned only on Palm Sunday to observe Holy Week together. One year, early in Lent, Zosimus walked through the desert and noticed a figure near a small hill. From a distance, he could not tell whether the person was male or female. The body was naked, sun-darkened, with hair bleached white. As he drew closer, the figure called out and asked him not to look, saying she was a woman and asking him to throw her his cloak so she could cover herself. Zosimus turned away, removed his cloak, and tossed it behind him. Once covered, the woman spoke with him at length. Their exchange appears in a 6th century text titled, "The Life of Our Holy Mother, Saint Mary of Egypt." The work is linked to Saint Sophronius, Patriarch of Jerusalem, though scholars agree this attribution lacks credibility. Early Christian scribes often credited texts to famous figures to increase authority. The account likely dates to around the year 500 and was written by monks from Zosimus. The work records an oral tradition rather than a strict biography and includes some improbable supernatural details. The woman told Zosimus her name was Mary and that she was born in Egypt. At 12, she fled her home and went to Alexandria. At that time, no city in the Roman world matched Alexandria in wealth or splendor. Goods from across the known world filled its port and markets. Students and scholars traveled there from Africa, Asia, and Europe to study in its schools and renowned library. Mary pursued a different life. Soon after arriving, she lost her virginity and spent 17 years in uncontrolled sexual activity. She stressed that she was never a prostitute. She told Zosimus that she refused payment from men and sought no profit. She wanted conquest, not money. She took pleasure in seduction and took pride in teaching young men sexual practices. She claimed no form of depravity lay outside her experience. Mary believed she could attract any man she chose. One day she saw a group of men preparing to board a ship. Someone told her they were pilgrims traveling to Jerusalem for the feast of the exaltation of the Holy Cross. The idea of seducing them all appealed to her, so she joined the group. By the time the ship reached the Holy Land, she had slept with every pilgrim. The ship arrived days before the feast, and Mary continued seeking men. On the feast day, she followed the crowd to the church of the Holy Sepulchre. She went out of curiosity, not devotion. When the people entered the church, she found herself unable to pass the entrance. An unseen force blocked her each time she tried. Anger turned to realization. Mary began to believe divine power barred her way. She became aware of the weight of her past actions. Standing outside the church, overwhelmed by shame, she wept. Through her tears, she saw an icon of the Virgin Mary above the entrance. She prayed for help and promised to abandon her former life and perform penance. Her prayer was answered. The barrier lifted, and she entered the church. She attended Mass and venerated the relic of the Holy Cross. As she left, she heard a voice telling her that peace awaited her beyond the Jordan. By the time she met Zosimus, Mary had lived alone in the desert for 47 years. She said the first 17 years were the hardest. She longed for rich food and wine, yet often struggled to find water. Old songs returned to her mind, along with strong sexual urges. During these trials, she prayed to the Virgin Mary and received help. After intense struggle, calm followed. Over time, her clothing fell apart and disappeared. Since she encountered no one in the desert, her nakedness caused no concern. When Mary finished her account, Zosimus bowed before her, recognizing her holiness. Mary then made a request. She had lived without Holy Communion for 47 years. She asked Zosimus to return the next year on Holy Thursday and bring her the Eucharist. He agreed. The following year, Zosimus carried the Eucharist and some food into the desert. He found Mary waiting by the Jordan and gave her communion. The next year, he returned again on Holy Thursday and found her dead near the riverbank. According to the account, Zosimus tried to dig her grave but lacked the strength and found the ground too hard. A lion emerged from the desert and dug the grave with its claws. After Zosimus buried Mary and prayed for her, the lion departed. Zosimus returned to his monastery and told the abbot and monks the story of Mary of Egypt.